Check it out, re-listen. It's always good to sharpen the what? The rewind wheel, the brain, the sword. Look good.
You know what? I was going to go into, I wanted to go into body a little bit. You know, there's the desk job is kind of going the way of the buffalo, but for us to still have it, we've realized how detrimental it can be to our health. And to Craig's point, when you are a jack of all trades and you're doing everything in your business, your health goes last. It's Z on the list. What are some things for an insurance agent or anybody that has a desk job? Like, how do you get out of that rut? And what little things can we do to change?
So I'd say the first thing is it's very easy to fall into that trap because you're succeeding in other areas. If your business is doing well, it tends to be a justification for you not looking after yourself.
Right.
But the reality is it will come back to bite you in the arse, because it's this: an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. You don't want to wait until it's too late to sort your health out, because then, you know, if you think that you haven't got time to sort it, you definitely haven't got time now. And just a small amount done daily, as we've already explained, produces great results. So what I would say to most people, everything comes down to the basic fundamentals. And if we really want to put it in layman's terms with regards to weight loss, it's eating less food than you burn and finding different ways to increase your expenditure. There's two ways you can do that. You can eat less or you can move more. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like that whole eat less thing. I like my food. So for me, it's a case of moving more. And this isn't going to do hill sprints. This isn't going to do, you know, jumping on a treadmill. This is about steps. And the biggest game changer for anybody is to manage your movement. Be aware of how many steps that you're getting in per day. Because the biggest problem that you'll have is you'll go to the office, you'll work all day, and you'll think that you've done stuff, but you are mentally exhausted, and you can look down at your watch or your iPhone and see that you've only probably done about 1,000 steps for the day. And this is the problem that so many people I have say to me. They're like, oh, I'm working so hard, you know, I must be burning loads of calories. And like that, I look at, you know, they have like an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, and I say to them, look, you're not even moving. Your brain is exhausted, but your body's not. And actually, if I said to you, right, your mission, before we even look at the food, is I challenge you to get 10,000 steps in per day. And the thing is what we have to understand is as business owners, we're competitive. You know, we like to smash targets. We like to set ourselves goals, and we like to hit it. And we like to, and you can create this kind of environment, especially with things like Fitbits and that. You can join these, you know, who can get the most steps in per week. You know, if you want to make it, you know, it's all about gamification. You know, fitness should be about gamification. If you want to really, you know, if you really want to focus on your health, then what I would do is reach out to a load of other friends, set a kind of a 6-month competition, get everyone linked in for their steps or for what it is that they're looking to do. And away you go. There's nothing more motivating when you're looking and you're like third on the leaderboard and you need to get another 2,000 steps in. And it can make such a difference to your progress by doing it with other people. And just looking back to that movement thing that we said, you know, if you go from sort of 2,000 steps per day to 10,000 steps per day, what we have to understand is that compounded over a year, that can have a huge difference. If we look at 10,000 steps per day, that's equivalent, depending on the person's weight, 400 to 500 calories expended per day. So over a year period, if you did nothing else but increase that movement, that's equivalent to 15 pounds of body weight. When we consider, you know, when we look at sort of 3,500 calories being a pound of body fat. So that compounded over a year, if you did nothing more, would be 15 pounds lighter. So that's the kind of mindset I want people to look at. It's not about going crazy with this, super secret diet plan and this magical training tip. It's just move more and be conscious of it. And
I love that.
It's a simple fundamental and which anybody can do.
So 10,000 steps. That's the challenge that you
10,000 steps per day.
Per day.
That's it.
Love it.
That's it. 10,000 steps per day. If there's anything that you want to tick off from your fitness goals, if you're getting that in, you will notice a big difference over 3 months, 6 months in your weight loss, in your productivity. And, you've got it. The way that I find it easy, I love getting up in the morning, but you kind of kill two birds with one stone if you are getting your steps in and listening to a podcast or audiobook. Because it's so much easier then because you get rewarded. I love getting up in the morning. It's dark, put my headphones on, listen to a podcast. No one's around. And I absolutely love it because you're learning stuff. Plus you're getting that movement in.
Love it. So how can, I'm sure whoever's listening is just, there's so many nuggets in here. How can they get a hold of you? And then we'll get into that too, because your social media is on point. So how can we all get a hold of you?
The easiest place probably to get me is on Instagram at Alderton, JayAlderton. That's where I hang out most of my time. In between that and TikTok, I'm still trying to, it's a bit of a story of TikTok. I downloaded it for a joke last year, decided I'll commit to it. And within, I think it was in 4 months, had over 100,000 followers and got verified on it. So it was just crazy.
Wow.
And, I'm kind of getting around 6 to 8 million views a month on TikTok. So I'm fascinated with the platform. As Gary Vee said, he said, go all in. I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. Kind of growing 10,000 followers a week at the moment, which is crazy. Considering TikTok, it's a brand new audience. That hasn't been over from Instagram. These people have never heard of me before, and it's essentially within that 6 months, I think it's 135,000 people follow me on there now that never knew who the hell I was. So
that's crazy.
It's such an interesting platform emerging, which I'm excited about because the monetization will start coming in this year, and it's interesting to see people's opinions on TikTok.
So quick question on TikTok. How many times are you posting a day, and what's your kind of strategy with that? Are you piggybacking off of hashtags?
Yeah, so I'm kind of growth hacking it at the moment. I'm looking at, I'm very much, I'm very much based on my job where I used to work in psychological operation. I'm very good at understanding like how people, I see something, oh, that's why that's doing this. So I'm kind of jumping on the trends and not really posting valuable content yet. I'm just building up that audience and seeing what's there and testing a few things. But I've got like kind of a system that works. I jump on a few trends. I mainly it's more comedy stuff, and I'm very good at video editing with my mobile phone. So I do a lot of things with that. And I'm kind of waiting to kind of transition that into more business stuff. But a lot of people are like, oh, are you making any money on it yet? And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh. I said, look, you don't understand. It's the same day you plant the seed isn't the same day you pick the flower. Okay.
Right.
You've got to water it every single day, and you got to be patient. And I think so many people, they're asking me like, oh, how much money are you making on it, or this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, look, patience. As with anything, just be patient, keep doing it. And then suddenly I know next couple of months, the monetization's coming in, the links in, the swipe ups, and then I'll be like, phew, there you go.
Wow. And with a huge audience.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of posting a couple of times a day. I've posted consistently at least once per day, every day for the last 6 months. And, one thing I will say is that I posted every day for 40 days and I was averaging about 10 views on my videos, which is enough kind of motivation for you not to post on it, because you're not getting that feedback and that positive feedback loop. And then suddenly I posted one video and it had like 500,000 views, and it was just like, oh, okay, cool. So you get that kind of positive feedback, and then it starts going. And, I've had some crazy views on my videos. I had just one at Christmas that had 7.5 million views. It was just insane.
Wow.
But what created that to happen? Like it was just, it got pushed.
No, it's very weird. It's very weird with TikTok. They're very much favoring trends. And if you go onto the search tool, it will tell you all the latest trends that are happening at the moment. And I think some major advice I give TikTok is play about with it, utilize what you've got to do is, I mean, you have 15 to 60 seconds. They recommend around 14 to 16 seconds of video. And the main thing of the algorithm is to try and two things: keep people to all the way to the end of the video. So you've got to keep people engaged for at least 14 to 16 seconds.
14 seconds.
Yeah. And even more with the algorithm, if you can get more people to watch it again. So when that gets your brain thinking, you're like, right, okay, what's going to keep people in for 14 seconds? Build up, anticipation, waiting for something to happen. That's going to build it up. So very much TikTok is focused on music and images, music, video, and text. So they've got lots of songs with like a build up for a beat drop. So like for me, like I would grab a song, put text on. The secret to fat loss is ... wait for it to build up, and then go consistency. I'd be like, oh, but that's what gets
right.
And I do a mixture of those and some funny ones. And I think a lot of people were jumping on hiding text in the video and saying like, look at my watch. And then they look at the watch and there's a bit of text that says, look at my shoulder. And then they look at the shoulder and it's got a little bit of text there. And it goes, look at the clock. And you see what I mean? You're getting people to stay on the video to try and look at hidden images and text in there, which then gets it looping around, and then adds to that. So there's lots of different tactics that you can put in there. But the main thing I say is be consistent, look at the trends on there, utilize the sounds on there and the tunes and make it funny and entertaining, or infotaining, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
I love that.
And my kids, so I have a 19-year-old and 14-year-old, and they are on the TikTok all day.
Yeah.
We're on vacation. They're on that thing. Every dances and stuff, and I'm just like, what the hell? I don't even understand what's happening.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, everyone keeps saying, oh, it's for kids, and it's so hilarious because I've got young cousins at school, and all their friends follow me, and they're all embarrassed and stuff like that. It's great, but also at the same time is the way that TikTok works is if you jump on there first, you're going to see lots of weird videos of young kids, etc., and lip syncing and that. But the way that the algorithm works is the more things that you interact with, the more that you see. So when I jump on now, I'm seeing creators, I'm seeing more business stuff, I'm seeing more over 30s, and it's more kind of a maturer TikTok based on the things that I like and interact with. So it's only a matter of time when you start using it that you understand there's a huge demographic of people using it, and it's still brand, it's not brand new, it's about 3 or 4 years old, but this kind of transition into where it's going, and there's lots of other monetization things. And I think the most important thing that I've learned more from 14, 15-year-old kids on the platform than I have other people on platforms, because the way that I say this is like when I was a kid, it was all about Mega Drives and Nintendos. You'd spend hours and hours and hours on video games, investing in getting better at these things, and not really seeing a return on it other than, getting a high score or completing a level. Kids have a lot of time these days. So if they're on TikTok and they're making videos and they're editing and they're doing transitions and all these kind of things, they're spending 10, 12, 15 hours a day beating on their craft. So these 14, 15-year-old kids, they've got some skills. And I'm learning so much from these kids. Another thing as well, as a bit of a business tip, is that these kids are getting hundreds of thousands of followers, but they're not earning money from it. So if I see sort of if I had a business that was I don't know, products for kids, sort of clothing or stuff like that, for you to get an advertisement on TikTok for someone with 1 million followers would cost you probably 5% of what it would cost on Instagram. You could probably, I think like a 1 million follower on Instagram will probably set you back about $20,000. but the same following on TikTok for the same amount will probably set you back about, I don't know, $200 to $300 max. So there is huge potentials, depending on obviously what your business is and depending on what it is that you're selling. That, you know, if you think if I was 15 to 16 years of age and someone turned around and said, "Hey, can you just promote this hat and I'll give you $200," I'd snap your hand off
all day long.
Totally.
All day, all day long. And people aren't thinking about that. You know, like there's huge potential. And everyone knows the important, you know, how impactful influencer marketing is when done correctly. And there's huge potential to tap into before a lot of these kids get a bit older and realize the value in an audience, because at the end of the day, audience is currency.
Truth. Yeah. Love it. Gosh, that's great. And we've kept you for so long. And you've dropped some amazing value bombs. There's a couple questions I did want to ask. And it goes back to the book thing. Cool. Give us just a couple books that you would recommend. I love to kind of see where people's heads are at and what have made the biggest impact on them. So maybe 2 or 3 that have really impacted you personally.
So there's a book called The Go-Giver, which I just read recently, actually, and it was really good because it just gets some tips, and it goes through a story about a guy wanting to become successful, and he meets these different people along the way, and they all kind of connect with each other. Incredible book, which I highly recommend. There's another one which I recommend from self-development called The Shrink and the Sage. And it's a book by a psychologist and a philosopher. And they get asked questions on, you know, self-development, life, and from both a philosophy perspective and a psychology perspective. And it's cool. It's one of these books where I can only read a chapter because my head gets blown off every time I read it. It is just, like, yeah, it is one of those kind of books which I highly recommend. And then my final one from a self-development point of view, which I always recommend, is Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. Dr. Maxwell Maltz was a cosmetic surgeon, and he was always fascinated why someone would come to him with an issue which they were unhappy with. He would fix it and they'd be happy. But at the same time, he'd have just as many people that regardless of what they did to improve, they were never content. And the book talks about self-development. It talks about understanding self-esteem, self-confidence, self-worth, and how you can work through certain principles to understand yourself better, be aware of things where you're kind of slipping up, and make those improvements.
Love it.
Okay. And those are great. And then how about your books? So you have 2?
Yes. So I have a book called Mindset of Muscle. So that focuses on strategies to build your body, brain, and business. Yeah. So I very much focus on habits, routines, simplifying things down. And in December this last year, I just launched my new book, Meltdown, which talks about 2016. It's kind of after the book of Mindset of Muscle. You know, Mindset of Muscle is still a phenomenal book, but it wasn't necessarily talked about family and balance. It was more about strategies and business. And the Meltdown book's kind of, you know, the chapter after where, yeah, I've got all the business stuff sorted, but not the kind of relationship stuff sorted. And it kind of talks about my journey of kind of recovery from burnout and realizing the importance of kind of systemizing, automating things, you know, opening up and being a human, and learning about stoicism, learning to control what you can and to let go of things that you can't. And my new fascination with the cold, such as cold showers and ice cold sea dips, which have been a huge game changer. Tony
Robbins does that.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, a lot of people talk about the health benefits of cold, and there is a lot of physiological benefits, but there's just as much psychological, because I live 10 minutes from the beach. The sea is 8 degrees, which is just, you know, sitting on freezing. And I wake up every day not wanting to go in there. Like no one wants to go in and see that. Hell no. And every time I think that, which is every single morning, makes me want ignore what it is that I'm thinking and do it anyway. Because I think the biggest thing that people can condition themselves is to do things that they don't want to do when they know that they need to do it. That includes going to the gym. That includes doing those mundane tasks, which you just kind of wait till next week to do. So if you can condition yourself to do stuff, even though that you don't want to do it, then you're going to have a lot of success, because something that I say, the person that comes out of that sea is very different to the person that comes in. The person that goes in does not want to go in, but the person that comes out has this huge smile on his face and is so glad that he did it.
It's like, I did it, damn it.
Exactly. And especially early in the morning, you've already achieved something that you didn't want to do, and you feel great from doing it because you just get this massive rush of endorphins. It's incredible. It's absolutely freezing as soon as you go in there, but 20-30 seconds, get your breathing right, and it is incredible. And you go out, and it's amazing. You just can't stop smiling. It's very strange. And everyone asks me, why on earth do you do it? And I say, look, you can't tell you've got a show.
Yeah.
You got to just jump in that sea.
Yeah. You're in there for 30 seconds or a minute?
I mean, it depends on the time of year. At the moment, I'm probably looking about 2 minutes max.
Okay.
And then go back out because of the cold. As the summer goes on, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. I've got a lot of people in my groups. They come down for meetups. We go for a swim. Depending on it's either a dip or a swim. Usually when it goes up to about 15, 18 degrees, it's a swim. At the moment, it's a dip.
Is there ever snow on the ground and you go in?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
They're the days that you need to go in. These are the days where you can have all the excuses,
right?
That you can say yourself. And one thing that I do is I go to sleep in my swim shorts, because if I wake up and I say to myself, I'm not going to go in, the next question I ask, well, if you weren't going to go in, why are you in your swim shorts?
Yeah.
I love that.
And accountability.
And that completely changes everything. And then I go jump on Instagram, and I even though I don't want to do it, I say, hey, I'm going in the sea, because as soon as I've told Instagram, I've got to do it.
You got to do it.
You've got to do it. Full accountability.
So is this
setting
first
up
thing?
those?
Sorry, dude, you go.
Sorry, it's setting up those micro habits to support the macro habit.
Exactly.
Because, love it.
Yeah, and it's so important to do, because that first hour in the morning is so important. You've got to fill your own vessel up so you can serve others, and find different ways of filling your vessel. For me, it's getting up, it's getting those steps in. So getting for a walk, it's jumping in that sea, and it's looking at, learning something new from a podcast or audiobook.
Yeah.
If I can tick those boxes, I'm good to go for the day.
Yeah. That is awesome, man. So we have the books. They're both available on Amazon, I would presume.
Yep, on Amazon. If you just search on Amazon, Mindset with Muscle or Meltdown. Meltdown's you can't miss it. It's a glowing orange book, so it's quite easy to see. So.
Nice. Anything else that you would give an aspiring insurance agent that's coming in and is afraid to take that leap and dive in? Any words of encouragement or advice?
One day you will be dead. Simple as that. And you're not coming back as a tree. So if you don't do it now, you never will. And life is short, and this is what you have to understand, is we're in an incredible time where if you're scared about taking that leap, don't be, because you can always go back to your job. You don't want to have that mentality of plan B. But if it all goes wrong, then get out your iPhone, Google some stuff, and away you go.
Love it.
Jamie, so awesome.
So awesome. Thank you so much for taking an hour with us and dropping so much awesome knowledge. And I love how you included mind, body, and business, because that is so important, and they do go together. And when something's out of line, even out of line at home, it's like a car with a flat tire. It's like everything else is all wobbly. So I love definitely.
I look at it kind of like as, 4 legs on a stool. If one is off balance, then, something wobbles, and it's important to get that balance of, all 4, which kind of fall under my categories of health, wealth, productivity, and connectivity.
So awesome.
Focus on your health, focus on your wealth, focus on being productive, and focus on connecting with people in real life, because social media isn't social. Actually, saying hello, shaking hands, and hugging people is social.
Yeah.
Love it.
All
Cool.
right,
So
man.
everybody's got to check out the stuff. Check out
And
the
we will
books.
put those books. We will put the links to the books in the show notes, so you can go ahead and grab them there. Highly encourage you. I'm going to pick them up myself, and I know Jason's going to listen to them, and away we go. So thank you, Jamie. We appreciate you.
No, thank you. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Take care.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes, it's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.